Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to unbox this Tamiya MF-01X chassis, the Ford Escort Mk.II Rally Edition. This is my first MF-01 chassis. I've never built this before. That's one of the reasons why I bought this. And the other reason, of course, is that it's pre-painted white. All I have to do is add the decals on, much like the Plasma Edge 2. Let's look at the box real quick. Versatile and compact four-wheel drive chassis, lightweight, durable, resin, monocoque frame. Integrated gearboxes feature built-in differentials, four-wheel independent double wishbone suspension. That's interesting. And this edition already comes with the torque tune motor and the TBLE-02S ESC. And again, it is already pre-painted in white. On this side, we have a picture of the chassis itself, and we can see where all the electronics are going to be. This is the servo, this is the ESC, this is the receiver, and the motor is all the way in the back. It has a mid-body lateral battery tray, double wishbone suspension. The propeller shaft is interesting, is on one side of the chassis. And lastly, it has a sealed gearbox. And let me read this right here. The iconic two-door Escort Mk.II form is expertly captured by a polycarbonate body with separate molded parts included for spotlights, headlight cases, side mirrors, and bumpers. The compact MF-01X chassis gives a thrilling drive whether you take it on or off-road. Features a rear-mounted motor with gear-driven rear wheels and a propeller shaft taking power to the front. Based around a tough monocoque frame with integrated gearboxes, both front and rear gearboxes have differential gears. Battery pack location near the center secures the excellent balance. Four-wheel independent double wishbone suspension offers a superb drive. Light blue 8-spoke wheels are paired with 60mm diameter 26mm width rally block tires. Utilizes a 3-piece mainframe using included central spacer blocks and separately sold propeller shaft. It can be assembled into small, medium, or large wheelbase. I think for this particular body, it is a 239mm wheelbase. Let's see if we have anything on the other side. Let's read a little bit about the Escort. The iconic Escort was manufactured between 1968 and 2004 by Ford Europe. The Mk.II was produced from 1975 to 1980, a front-engine rear-wheel drive car with a classic boxy body. The RS 1800 was fitted with a high-performance double overhead cam 4-cylinder engine and became the base for a successful work team rally car that secured manufacturers and drivers championship in 1979. And here are some separately required items. In this particular kit sold in the United States, the ESC and the motor are both included in the kit. All we need to buy is a servo, receiver, battery, charger, and the transmitter. There are available hop-up parts. I think most importantly, we're going to get the ball bearing set. Okay, I think we're ready to open this up. All right, let's see what's inside. First thing right away, you can see the white painted body. On this side is the included ESC. And this appears to be the light buckets. These look like lamps. Those also look like lamps. I think if we wanted to hook up a LED lighting kit, we can with this kit. And here's the body. I will do a little bit closer up later on. Here are the tires, and they are the rally block tires. These red parts look like the uprights, the steering block, and the rear hub. Looks like a switch cover. And here are those blue wheels. This is a really nice color. These are the front lamp lenses. This bag, I believe, are the dampers. I see the preload spacers. I see the top of the damper and also the bottom. Some body posts. Yes, this is definitely the dampers. Okay, there's the motor mount wheel hexes. And this looks like a big chunk of the chassis. That takes care of this bag. Let's see what's underneath. This also looked like it's part of the chassis. It's that gray color. And here's the bag of all these screws, including the motor and the propeller shaft. And this bag looks like it has all the gears to build the gearbox. And here's the torque tune motor that's included. I think these are the clips that go behind the Lexan body when you're mounting a mirror, bumper, or a lamp, things like that. And these are the screws. Yes, I think this is for the Lexan body. This bag, I see cup joints. I see springs. There are the plastic bearings. A couple zip ties. And I see the axle and some dog bones. And that's bag D. Here's a bag of the Servo saver. And here's the propeller shaft. Here's a bag with grease, a wrench, the rod ends, some more bearings. I see some gears right there. Some more gears. And this is bag A. Bag C, we have the other propeller joints. Maybe this one is the front. The one previously was the rear, or vice versa. Here's some more springs. I see some ball studs right here. I also see some bearings. And I also see some rod ends right there. So this is bag C. In bag B, we have more gears, more plastic bearings, some more screws, some spacers. Let's see. This is definitely part of the diff. Okay, that is bag B. We have the Escort Mk.II Rally body parts set. So this is the instructions for the tires and to help build the body and the lamps and the decals. This paper is in every Tamiya kit pack. It's basically all the disclaimers. Here's the manual itself, and we'll go over that. And last thing in the box are the decals. They're not pre-cut, and it's a really good looking blue. There's 3 colors right here. Got the rear lights, the headlights, windshield wipers. Got the window trim right there, and the front grille also. So really good looking decals. Let's take this out of the bag. Right, so here is the pre-painted body. You notice it's pre-painted, but it's not pre-cut. So I'm still going to have to cut along this seam here. Interestingly, the wheel wells are cut. I'm still going to have the line right here where I have to cut. Front, rear, and both sides. That's actually terrific because I always have trouble with the wheel wells. It is painted almost perfectly. Tinted windows. You're not going to find a better painted body than something that came from Tamiya themselves. So here is the Ford Escort Mk.II body. Let's take a look at the manual. Okay, here we have the manual for the MF-01X chassis. On the front cover, you have two pictures of the chassis itself, and it introduces some of the parts of this chassis. The inside cover are all the tools you're going to need, all the electronics you're going to need, also going to need some paint, and it specifies a servo size for you to purchase. This yellow sheet here is the safety precautions, front and back. And here's some more precautions. And here's a diagram how to link up all of the electronics. I actually have a video about that. I'm going to link it in the description about all the electronics of an RC car. This is where it talks about this particular chassis can be built into 3 different wheelbases, 210, 225, 239. And that's very similar to the TT02. It too can be built in different wheelbases, and it can also be built in a low configuration or a high configuration. Again, for this particular body, we're going to be building the 239mm, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the high clearance configuration. Second step is to charge your batteries. That's always either the first or the second. The left over here tells you exactly what you're going to need for a particular frame. Everything on this side is going to be found in the A, B, C, or D parts bag. And then we start building the differential right here. And we start building the gearbox here. The gearbox continues until it is completed. And then right here, it's going to tell you to hook up all of the electronics, specifically to test the servo, make sure it's centered, because from here on, when the servo saver goes on and the servo is installed in the car, it's going to be very hard to take off the servo saver and recenter the servo. They have included screws for a different kind of servo, and we'll figure out which one it is with the servo that I have. And from here, we're going to build some turnbuckles. And these turnbuckles are going to be directly connected to the servo saver. And here we're going to install the servo into the chassis. Looks like there's configuration for a standard size servo and a low profile servo, which is good. And then right here, we're going to be building the front differential. The gears for the gearbox. Continue assembling the gearbox and part of the chassis. And here it looks like the 3 parts of the chassis come together. And if we take a look, this particular page is for the 210mm chassis. On the next page is for the 225 and the 239mm chassis. So I'm going to be following this page right here. Here we installed the propeller shaft into the chassis. And from here, we're going to start building the suspension. Going to start building the rear dampers right here. Going to install them. Here are the rear body posts. This top section is for the high configuration. This section is for the low configuration. And this is the rear wheel hub. Right here, we're going to start building the front suspension and put together the front axles, and then we're going to install the uprights onto the chassis. And then we're going to build the front dampers and install them and the front body post. And then we're going to install the electronics. First, we start with the motor and we mount it onto the chassis. Then we're going to put the ESC, receiver, and the switch onto the chassis and connect it to the motor. And next, we're going to be gluing the wheels. Going to put the wheels onto the body, hook up the battery, mount the body, and we're done. And then it talks about some option hop-up parts. Here's some instructions how to play with the RC car. This is a troubleshooting guide right here. And this is a diagram of the part tree, so it tells you exactly what is in each bag and each tree. This is the continuation of the precautions in the front yellow. And again, these are just the parts continued. And on the back cover, this is a price list of all the parts, and these are the parts code. So that's it. I'm going to be building this kit very soon, so look for the build series and then the test drive videos afterwards. So thanks for watching this video. If you got anything out of it, please drop a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.